Hello everyone, welcome to Worldline Paytech Guys. Today we'll be discussing an interesting topic, dynamic currency conversion or DCC. What is it and what's in it for customers and merchants? To share more insight on this topic, we have with us Mr. Veera Vice President at Worldline. Veera, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pratish. Thanks for inviting me for this podcast.
So Veera, there's a considerable debate that, DCC benefits merchant or customers more.
Okay.
So what is your view on that?
In my view, actually, it benefits three people. One is customer, another one is merchant, and also the bank.
Okay.
So how does it benefit the customer? So one, the customer, he gets to know the exact rate, the amount that would be charged on his card the moment he does the transaction.
Okay.
Okay, that is as for the customer. So it is very transparent, and he also gets to know what is the markup being charged, what is the converted amount, what is the home currency amount that is being charged. So that is as far as the customer is concerned. Number two, for the merchant, so the bank always offers a rebate on DCC transactions.
Okay.
So the cost of transaction for the merchant is lower when compared to a regular transaction. Number three, as far as the bank is concerned, there's a markup income that they earn in the foreign exchange.
Okay.
So they get benefit from the FIRC certificate and other stuff.
Okay. Can you highlight some use cases, giving some examples so our viewers are more clear on? So can you just briefly share some examples?
So I'll just take an example. In fact, recently, I had traveled abroad. So, I was given an option to either make the payment in Euro or in INR.
Okay.
So when I calculated, so it was very clearly mentioned in INR saying that, I need to spend say 10,500 rupees for that particular item or services.
Okay.
So when you have an INR amount and the service that you're offering, you're able to immediately relate.
Okay.
Otherwise, what you do is like if they want to tell you that it is going to cost you $160, then immediately you start calculating what will be the converted rate.
Correct.
So as a card holder, for me, it is definitely beneficial for me when I do a transaction on the INR amount and the amount that is reflecting on the charge slip, it is the same amount that will come in on your bank statement also.
Okay, interesting. But some critics say that DCC primarily serves the interest of the merchant only. So what are your thoughts around this?
Okay, so definitely, see, that's what I told you. So apart from the merchants, yes, definitely the merchant is getting benefited out of it because his cost of transaction is coming down. But definitely as a card holder, I would definitely get a benefit. But also it depends on what type of card that I am using. For example, there could be card holders who would want to do the transaction in INR only because their card will be a high variant card where the markup percentage that is charged by the issuer is lower when compared to what is charged by the acquirer.
Okay.
As far as the card holder is concerned, I am supposed to pay that markup fee. Either the acquirer charges or the issuer charges.
Okay.
So either way, as a card holder, I have to pay.
Okay.
It is the difference which whoever charges less, the card holder will choose that particular transaction.
Okay, so can you highlight some benefits, to each from the customer perspective and from the merchant perspective?
Okay. So, say for example, from the customer perspective, as I already told you, so the transaction is very transparent. Like when I know exactly the amount that I would be charged on the card. Like for example, I'm being given an option whether to do the transaction in INR or in DCC. So whichever currency. So I have been given a choice. It is not that I am being forced to do a transaction on DCC. So the merchant always gives a choice to the cardholder saying that in which currency you would like to choose. So in that way, the final right to do the transaction currency lies with me. So I decide whichever transaction that I want to do. As far as the merchant is concerned, so the lower the transaction cost, the lower the cost that they, the overall revenue or the overall profitability for them increases. So in that way, that is beneficial for the merchant.
So Veera, how is Worldline positioned in India to offer DCC?
Okay, so we as Worldline, we are one of the earlier partners who started DCC. We started DCC way back in 2008.
Okay.
And right now in India, we are the market leaders. Out of the 9 banks who are offering DCC, 6 banks is with Worldline.
Okay.
So in that way, we are a market leader. And also, we also comply by the rules of Visa and MasterCard. So whatever rules that they do, we comply by that.
Okay.
As far as product is concerned, our product is a very, very innovative product when compared to competition. Our success rate is very high when compared to the other people. We support more than 100 plus currencies in the market. recently the changes that we have done is, so we have been offering DCC only to the banks.
Yeah.
So now we have started extending that particular thing, saying that okay, the aggregators or the non-ADC partners of the bank also we are now offering DCC, and also we are offering DCC to banks who are not offering DCC to their customers. Like, as I told you, within Worldline, I've got only 6 banks that we are offering DCC. So the other banks also will have a chance to offer DCC to their customers.
Okay, interesting. Thank you, Veera, for sharing your invaluable insights with us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this podcast.
Thank you, Veera. Join us for the next episode of Worldline Paytech Bytes with another interesting guest and topic. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.